What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, today I've got for you a couple of crazy stories from r/best of Redditor updates. The first one was originally posted in r/amithejerk, and this guy is wondering if he should use the hall pass that his cheating wife gave him 5 years ago when her affair got outed because he likes a new woman. Crazy story. Let's get into it. Am I the jerk for wanting to use the hall pass my wife gave me 5 years ago when she cheated on me? This was originally posted just last week at the time of recording, August 21st, 2024. My wife, who is 35, and I, a 35-year-old man, have been married for 10 years. We have 2 children, a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. 5 years ago, I found out that my wife had an affair. I felt crushed and numb because I loved my wife a lot. Her affair partner told me about it when my wife called it off. The affair lasted 1 month, and my wife called it off because she felt really guilty about it. When I confronted her, she was very remorseful and didn't deny anything. She said she'd do anything, follow any reconciliation steps I asked, and just begged to not break up our family. I asked her why she cheated, and she gave no excuses. She just said it was for the thrill. My first reaction was to divorce, but after sitting on it for a week, I decided to just stick it out for our family, and because I still loved my wife. My wife was very thankful, and she even told me that I had a hall pass that I could use whenever I wanted. Over the next year or so, my wife followed the reconciliation steps, which included therapy, getting sober, quitting her job, and a bunch of other things. I had forgiven my wife, but I could never forget it. I would occasionally just replay in my mind my wife cheating on me, and that always hurt a lot. Fast forward to today, and my family is doing great. However, I have struck a friendship with Melissa, a 32-year-old, who I met at a bookstore. We had common interests in books for existentialism, metaphysics, and similar. I don't know how, but when we met, we just clicked. We initially met every week at the bookstore to just discuss books and life, but we started talking more about our personal life. And we then started going on coffee dates and brunches. One more thing we had in common was that Melissa too was married to her husband who had cheated on her many years ago. It's been almost a year since I met her, and Melissa has made it up front that she has very strong feelings for me and that she's never had these feelings for anyone else ever in her life. I too have a lot of feelings for her, but I feel guilty about it, so I haven't told her about them yet. I haven't crossed any physical boundaries, and I don't intend to. We only hug and hold hands. Okay, I've got to stop you there. That is a physical boundary, but anyway. But I do want to explore more of an emotional connection to her, because I've never felt like this, ever. I remember that my wife gave me a hall pass 5 years ago when she cheated on me. So, would I be the jerk to use that hall pass to explore the emotional connection I have with Melissa? Wow, what a first post. Let's jump into some comments before I give my thoughts. Somebody says, it will end your marriage. But yeah, you should probably just go and tell your wife that you want to use your hall pass. The marriage has obviously never recovered, and you've obviously found someone who is a better match for you. Even better, just go and tell your wife that you want a divorce, and that no matter how hard you tried, you could never truly get fully past the cheating. That it's best if you separate so you can both find a relationship that isn't broken. All of that would be the truth. Then you can go to Melissa and say, I've begun divorce proceedings with my wife. If you want to explore what we have together, I would want to do that, but only if you divorce your husband. We can ensure that neither of us are cheaters, and we owe it to ourselves to make that the case. Even if you don't divorce, I'm still going to divorce my wife, but I won't be waiting around. I've wasted too much time already. I hope you'll find the courage to take the leap of faith with me, understanding that there's no guarantee it will work out. I truly believe that we have a special connection, something I haven't ever felt with someone else in my life. I'd be very sad to lose it. Damn, imagine actually doing that, going through with that. It would take a lot of courage and bravery, but I agree with this comment. It would be the right thing to do. Anyway, let's read out a couple more comments, starting with this one. Somebody says, a hall pass is for a one-night stand with someone you're attracted to, but that's it. A hall pass is not to deepen an emotional connection you have with someone by adding sex into the mix. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the obvious point here. This hall pass would just be the beginning. There's no coming back once you do this. They continue. I would just tell your wife you want a divorce because chances are your wife will ask you for one when you tell her about Melissa anyway. She's definitely going to find out that this is someone you're already in love with. Just be honest and say that you never really forgave or forgot the affair and that you want a divorce. This, to be fair, is a very sensible comment and is quite similar to the previous one. Chances are, if you do use your hall pass with Melissa, you'll probably want to end things with your wife, since you and Melissa already have feelings for each other. She doesn't seem like someone you want to use just for sex and never see again, like hall passes usually work. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's clear to see that you never really got over your wife's affair, or you wouldn't be holding on to the idea of being able to cash in that hall pass 5 years later. Not that you or anyone needs to get over an affair by any means. I just mean that you didn't truly forgive her, or you wouldn't feel the need to do the same to her. Even if she said you could, because deep down I'm sure she didn't really mean that. No one is truly okay with giving their partner a pass to sleep with whoever they want. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Your wife was just saying anything she could at the moment, in that moment, to, make sure that the marriage wasn't ruined. I think, 5 years on, I don't really think that she'd be keen for that, let's just say. Anyway, one final comment. Dude, you may not be having a physical affair in your eyes with Melissa, but you are already cheating on your wife through an emotional affair. I think you're cheating holding hands and hugging her, because you aren't doing that as friends, but for intimate contact. It's obvious you haven't forgiven your wife at this point. The kindest thing to do is divorce and let you both live your own life. Now that, I think, is the comment that I agree with most. I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, let's be honest. It's not sexual yet, but this is still cheating. Okay, now we do have an update to come that was actually posted on August the 22nd, just a day after the original. A very quick update, one that we don't usually see. I mean, normally it takes a little bit longer to get, an official update. The original poster in this sort of situation takes some time to read through the comments and work out exactly what they're going to do. But in this case, don't want to give any spoilers. OP had a pretty quick resolution. But before we get into that, I will give my thoughts. And yeah, as I said, I think that the final comment there is the one I agree with most. It does sound to me as if OP is, well, let's be honest, already having an emotional affair. Personally, I don't think there's much difference between an emotional affair and a physical affair. I think that, if I was to find out that my partner or wife was going off and holding hands and hugging another man and having like coffee dates and stuff, I don't think there'd be much difference for me personally between that and just having an actual full-on blown sexual affair. Like, it's the same sort of thing. It hurts the same. It's the same sort of relationship, I think. So you got to be a little bit careful that you don't become what you hated in the first place. I mean, to be honest, you're already there by doing this. You are having an affair, but let's not go all the way in more ways than one. But yeah, I think that I agree with the other two comments as well. Just forget the hall pass, forget it ever exists. Take it seriously and just say, actually, no, this is worth divorcing over. I am in love with this other woman and I'm not in love with you. Simple as that. But as I said, now let's get on to the update posted just a day later. It's very short and very brief. Thank you everyone for the advice. I've decided not to use the hall pass as I don't really feel too great about it, and it wouldn't be fair to my wife. I want to clarify what I meant by using the hall pass. I had no intentions of proceeding with any sexual activity, but instead deepening my emotional connection with Melissa, and may have at worst included kissing. She tried to kiss me once, but I rejected it because I felt guilty about it. I texted Melissa and let her know, and while she was disappointed, she asked if we could still remain friends like we are now, and I told her sure, and she was very happy about it. I do like hanging out with Melissa a lot and talking about life. I also get those flutters and excited energy, and I like that a lot. Sorry. Well, there we go. Guys, I knew this was short, right? This update, because I could see it on my screen and I knew it was just a few paragraphs, but I didn't think it was going to be this. Some of the comments on this are interesting. Somebody said, "So, you've decided to have an affair." And someone else said, "You can't remain friends like you are now." Wow. Yeah, and that's in quotes. Goodness me. A conclusion that I didn't really expect, but one that I'm going to be honest, I've quite enjoyed. Like, guys, honestly, I was all on the side of OP. It's tough, I can imagine. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching right now, very sadly, have been cheated on in the past. Even by your wives, your husbands, whatever. But I didn't expect it to turn out like this, where this guy is either completely stupid or he just doesn't realize that he's like just going to continue to cheat and have an affair on his partner. I don't know. Yes, it doesn't matter. Like I at the start of this, I thought, oh, you're not using the hall pass. Okay, fine. You're just going to divorce. Get it? Literally what we just said. What I would probably recommend. No, I'm gonna potentially kiss her, which wouldn't be cheating. Do you guys understand why I'm just like so confused by this? Yeah, can we remain friends like we are now with extremely strong feelings for each other that are probably pretty sexual, let's be honest, and both of us have said that we've never felt like this about anyone ever before? Yes. Nothing says friendship like a marriage-ending emotional affair. Well done, guys. Really, really good. Okay, now for our second story. This one, wow, might even be more crazy than the first. I found a friend looking for gay sex on Grindr. He's publicly straight and engaged to a female mutual friend. What do I do? This was posted on August the 15th, 2024. The title says most of it. I'm openly gay and single. No shame in me being on Grindr, though my public pics only show me from the neck down and I share my face in DMs. I get flirty messages from a similar faceless profile. He's seriously DTF right now. We agree to exchange faces and he sends his first. It's Leo, a friend I've known since elementary school. He's engaged to Lisa, a close friend of mine. They're getting married this October and I already RSVP'd to their wedding. I didn't send my face back and Leo is sending me frustrated DMs about how our kinks are so aligned and I have a sexy body, etc. I'm panicking. This is happening right now. What do I do? Oh my goodness me. Well, personally, there's only one thing you can do here, and it's just tell his fiance immediately. I think you just have to. I'm not even going to read any comments here. Let's get straight into the update posted on August the 16th, just one day later. Lisa met me for coffee. Okay, great news. I showed her evidence of Leo on Grindr. She believed me, all right. She cried. I tried to comfort her. She recoiled from me and started ramming into me. Apparently, I ruined her life. I led Leo astray. I am personally to blame for her fiancé cheating on her. What? I was trying to be understanding of her emotions and to comfort her anyway until the homophobic slurs started coming. She was always an LGBTQ ally, so it was a huge shock. I left quickly after that, feeling awful. Lisa clearly told Leo it was me who outed him, as he then kept trying to call me. I refused all his calls. Then, his car parked across the street from my apartment for some time, though he never got out of it. I'm in the dark, but it seems to me like Lisa and Leo are still together, and they close rank by designing me as the villain here somehow. So, yeah. Wow. That was not how I was expecting this one to go at all. And guys, I'm kind of gutted to say that at this moment in time, that is it. That's the only update we've got. Again here, I think I either have to say that Lisa is incredibly loyal to her detriment or incredibly stupid, or Leo is like the best manipulator in the world and he somehow managed to get away with this. I don't understand this at all. I guess it can happen, you know, like people in relationships can stick together and turn on outsiders and use them as scapegoats when something happens between them. Or, you know, it's not too fanciful to suggest that Lisa is just looking for something and will cling on to anything to make her believe that, no, things aren't actually as they seem. Maybe in enough time she'll come around to the fact that, you know, Leo is just doing this stuff and he's doing it on his own, and ultimately you can't be pushed into doing something like this. But yeah, for right now, maybe she just doesn't want to believe it and she'll cling to any hope that this wasn't Leo doing this himself. I don't know. Hopefully long term she realizes that they're going to have to talk about this. But yeah, crazy. And also, I've not even mentioned the homophobia. What? Now, I'm sorry, that can't be an excuse for what's happened here. If you're using if you're being homophobic and you're using homophobic slurs, then you are just homophobic, which is crazy. I don't really know how she's gotten away with this for all this time. You said she was an LGBTQ ally. Clearly she wasn't. She was probably just good at covering up the fact that she is homophobic. Absolutely insane. Guys, comment down below. What was the most insane story there? The first one or this one? The first one was probably much more of a weird twist that I didn't expect. But then in the same vein, I could never have expected this either. And yeah, as I say, sadly at the time of recording, there's not another update. That's all we've got. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to look out for it, and I'll pay attention to this account. But wow, some story there is all I'll say. Hope you guys enjoyed.